I will say good evening and welcome everyone to the UT Duro Post-Grad 2020 virtual graduation ceremony. So before we kick things off, just want to go over a few housekeeping items for the evening to help things run smoothly. You'll notice when you came in that you were muted by default. You each have the ability to mute and unmute yourself throughout the reception. All we ask is that if you're not speaking, to please remain on mute to ensure that the mic and floor remain with the speaker. Now, normally we would be hosting this event in the Great Hall at Hart House, so we'd be able to see each other easily. And I see a lot of friendly faces around the room right now. And to embrace that collegiality in this virtual setting, I'd encourage all of you to have your camera on throughout the ceremony so that we can participate in this together. Other ways that you can participate throughout the ceremony are by using the Zoom reactions. These can be found at the bottom of the screen where you can do a thumbs up or you can do a clap. And of course, we will always take a muted hurrah at any given point throughout the ceremony, so feel free to engage and participate. There is also the chat box and function, so feel free to use that throughout the ceremony. We will be monitoring that, so if you are experiencing any issues with the event or know someone who needs assistance, please send us a private chat to Radiation Oncology or myself here in Zoom, or you can email the departmental account at radiation.oncology. So we're monitoring that and we'll handle any last minute questions. Now, to start off this evening's ceremony with words of insight and a message from the Faculty of Medicine, please join me in welcoming the Associate Dean of Postgraduate Medical Education, Professor Glenn Bandiera.
Thanks very much, Evan. And wherever you are and whoever you're with, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's an odd way to celebrate this momentous occasion, but we're absolutely intent on celebrating it because it's worth celebrating, and we certainly wouldn't want to pass up the opportunity to recognize those who have been successful in the multitude of programs that the DRO offers on an annual basis. So my job is here tonight to bring greetings on behalf of the Faculty of Medicine, Dean Trevor Young, Vice Dean Sal Spadafora, and to congratulate you all on reaching the end of this phase of your journey. We all know that you all have ambitious plans for what's next, whether it be here in Toronto or elsewhere in Canada or abroad, further training, off into practice. Wherever you go, we hope that you feel confident and competent to carry forward everything you've learned here at the University of Toronto and to be great ambassadors for the school and for your specialty. And I'm quite certain that you are very well equipped to meet the challenges ahead. One thing that I need to do as part of this is to invite you to embrace a new alumni community at the University of Toronto. It's a very diverse community. It numbers in the hundreds of thousands, really across the world. And wherever you go, I think it's highly likely that you will run into people that have trained or otherwise spent some time here at the University of Toronto. And again, I invite you to share some memories and some thoughts as you contemplate your time here and what you've been able to do with your training as you move forward. The other thing I want to do is thank you all. Thank you profusely for tolerating all of us in the last few months. I think it's fair to say we've all tried to respond to the pandemic in a way that makes sense, that serves our patients well. But certainly my job and the job of the faculty is to try to adapt to the changes that come our way in a way that makes sense for our trainees and for our faculty and for our education. And really want to thank everybody for really being part of the solution. We've had to co-create a lot of different processes and different steps that we hadn't contemplated even 3 or 4 months ago, and to have a really willing, forward-thinking and solution-focused group of people has just been the greatest pleasure as we've navigated these uncharted waters. So thank you all for that. I know many of you have been called upon to do things you wouldn't have normally been expected to do, and you've stepped up and you've done it, and it's all been done really, really well. So thank you so much for that. I'd like to be able to say it's over, but I'm sure we have lots more challenges and issues to solve together over the next few months. And again, really invite you to put your skills and creativity to work in helping us sort out some of those challenges. I also want to thank you for all that you've done here in the faculty. Certainly the great patient care that you've all delivered, But more importantly for us is really the enrichment that you've brought to the Faculty of Medicine. We've all chosen to be here and to be part of influencing the next generation, but it's really quite self-serving because we're really hoping to learn from you, and you challenge us with your questions and your enthusiasm, and you keep us all young with your perspectives and IT savvy and all those other great things. And we really just thrive so much on having new generations of people coming through with that spirit of inquisitiveness. And we really, really appreciate it, and I just want to acknowledge that as well. I have another acknowledgement to make. And that is the traditional land recognition that we do here at the University of Toronto. The land that the University of Toronto sits on as the traditional home of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and more recently the Mississaugas of the Credit River. For thousands of years it has been their home, and the university rests on this traditional gathering place where many First Nations and Indigenous people still meet today for various purposes. The university and all of us that are part of it are grateful to have the opportunity to meet on this land, and we take very seriously the role of stewardship that has been passed on over many, many millennia, and we treat our responsibility towards the land very seriously. We're very proud of the products we have to offer here at the University of Toronto. My real job as Associate Dean is really to say anytime something goes really, really well, to pass that on to your program directors and blame it all on them. And if something doesn't go well, then it's my fault and I take the heat. So hopefully your experience here has been well. One of the things that we really want people to have is a unique tailored experience where you've been able to take advantage of everything the university has to offer. And I hope we've paved the way and opened all the doors that have allowed you to do that. So once again, thank you for all you've done. Congratulations on getting to the end of this phase of your training. Many more phases and transitions to come, as is true for all of us. And I am sure that you are very, very well equipped to embark on that next journey. So thank you very much. It's my pleasure to turn things over to Dr. Michael Milosevic, who is the Vice Chair Research in the DRO. Over to you, Mike.
Thanks, Glenn. That's fabulous. I hope people can hear me okay. There's somebody drilling a hole in the floor above me here in my office. I'm sure Andrea is experiencing the same thing. Anyway, it's my pleasure to announce the Research Day Awards. That's what's on the program, at least, and it seems a bit weird because obviously we didn't have a Research Day this year per se. We had great plans for one to be held at Sunnybrook in early May, trying to build on the great experience that we had last year there. It was a really fun day, so I think we should all think back a year to how that worked out. We had a similar schedule this year, but obviously that fell by the wayside. Regardless, all of our trainees, people here today, submitted abstracts in anticipation of Research Day. They submitted, I think, a total of 50 or so abstracts this year, which is one of our biggest years ever in terms of the participation from the program, which was fabulous to see. And that made the job of the review team very, very difficult because there were so many excellent abstracts there. Trying to tease out, you know, those that sort of just bubbled above the others a little bit was really, really hard. I want to thank all of the reviewers who participated in that process because it was not an easy job. And you can see from you know the awards that I'm going to announce that it was impossible to separate in a couple of cases one from the other. The scores were exactly aligned in every way, and it would have been a somewhat arbitrary decision by the review team to pick one over the other. And it really does speak to the quality. Again, this year there was so much evidence of diversity within the program in terms of the kinds of research that are being done, and just the quality of that work and the potential of that work to really have an impact across our program and beyond our program. We are going to try to acknowledge this work in another way for all of the people who contributed over the course of the year to the research programs at U of T DRO and submitted abstracts. The abstracts will be published in an abstract book, and that will be distributed to all of the faculty and all of the trainees so that you can actually sit down and have a look at them and all of the great work that is being done. And finally, just before I announce the winners of the awards this year, I'd like to acknowledge all of the supervisors who obviously put hundreds of hours into making sure that their trainees moved forward in a very productive way and accomplished great things. And without all of you as well, we wouldn't be seeing this kind of great product from our trainees at this point. So I have 5 awards to announce this year. There was one which was the Best Poster Award, which obviously we're not doing this year. That will come again, hopefully next year. But I will start with the W.J. Simpson Award for Academic Excellence in Research by a Radiation Oncology Resident. W.J. Simpson, for those of you who may not remember him, was a our training program director for many years. He actually was the training program director when I started the program, and I think when Fifi and many of the other people here started the program. And John was a force in and of himself. So this is one of the 2 awards where we have 2 winners this year that were absolutely tied in terms of their scores. The first awardee is Liang Zheng. I was going to read the titles, but I realized that would stretch me over the titles of their research projects, but that would stretch me over my allotted time. So I'm not going to do that. You'll have to look it up. And the second awardee this year is Jennifer Kwan. They were both excellent abstracts. I will then move to the J.R. Cunningham Award for Academic Excellence in Research by a Physics Resident. And I think most of us here know who Jack Cunningham was based on his contributions to the world of physics, medical physics. And this year's awardee is Lee McDonald. I guess I'm the only one you can hear clapping, but I see you all clapping there. And I appreciate that. Number 3 is the R.S. Bush Award for Academic Excellence in Research by a Radiation Oncology Fellow. And Ray Bush was a leader in radiation oncology. He was also had a background training in physics. He was a multi-talented man who I knew for a while when I first joined, but he unfortunately died very shortly after that. And this year's awardee for Excellence by a Radiation Oncology Fellow goes to Shivakumar Goody. Richard P. Hill Award for Academic Excellence in Research by a Graduate Student. These are students who are pursuing graduate degrees, either within IMS or medical biophysics or another graduate faculty at the University of Toronto, supervised by a U of T DRO faculty member or a member of U of T DRO. And again, there were 2 winners this year. One was Mary Shi, and the second was Michael Sandhu. And I think that brings us to the last award, which is the Chair's Award for Academic Excellence in Research. And this is an award that our chair, Dr. Liu, chooses herself each year. She looks through the list of awardees. I think she does this after the committee has selected the award winners and chooses one of the trainees whose research has really typified excellence and moving forward, moving radiation science forward in general. And I should say as well that I had nothing to do with this. This year, this student actually happens to be one of mine, and it goes to Matakshi Gupta for her work, but I was entirely independent of the decision. So again, I want to congratulate all of the awardees, but I also want to congratulate everyone who contributed to the research program and all of the trainees who made such big contributions this year in terms of the quality of their work. I'm sure we're going to see many of these presented at Caro and Astro and Estro as time goes on, and that's a real sign of the quality of the work that's coming out of our program. Thank you. I now have the pleasure of turning the microphone over to Kelly Mcphee, who's the Chief Physics Resident.
All right, thank you. First, I would like to say congratulations to graduating physics and radiation oncology residents. Today we're celebrating you, and today we're celebrating your success. Congratulations, I'm happy to share this with you. In particular, congratulations to my physics colleagues. I am thankful to have worked with all of you and that I can also call all of you my friends. We were a team. I can only hope that physics residents in future years are as thankful for their colleagues as I am for all of you. I wish you well, and I look forward to whatever opportunities I have to work with you in the future. And if not, seeing you at conferences over the next few years of our career. On behalf of physics residents, I would like to thank the UTDRO faculty and staff for everything that you do to make this program run. We would also like to thank the physicists, radiation oncologists, and everyone else who teaches us and helps us to be successful through our program. On behalf of physics residents, I would like to thank all of you for your support, your mentorship, and your time, whether it was official or in an unofficial capacity, and whether it was in scheduled meetings and classes, or in those moments when we knocked on your door, caught you in the hallway, or in an elevator, and just asked a question and you were able to help us. We thank you. We have been asked to select just one physicist to receive the Physics Resident Award for Excellence in Teaching. Selecting just one person is always difficult. This year, the award goes to Dr. Alex Kratky. Dr. Kratky is a medical physicist at the Odette Cancer Center at Sunnybrook Hospital, and I don't believe he's in attendance today. Okay. I do have a few words on behalf of the residents from Sunnybrook who worked with him more closely. For the last few years, Dr. Kratky has been instrumental in organizing the CT and GI treatment planning rotations for Odette residents. He has worked tirelessly to make sure residents receive the highest level of training and often stayed late into the evening to teach residents vital quality assurance tests and procedures. He's a mentor to several of the residents and is always available to answer questions and concerns. A heartfelt thank you for your teaching and mentorship, and congratulations. And I'm going to turn the floor over to Andrea McNiven next, the director of the Physics Residency Program.
Thank you, Kelly. And hi, everyone. I'd like to again reiterate the welcome to everyone, and particularly all of our physics residency graduates, and if any of their friends or family are joined in with them. The term graduating class is a bit loose for physics residents as we have different finishing times, and the 4 graduates finishing us today have finished last July, August, and December, so almost a year ago. But it's very happy that this virtual format does allow us to have all 4 of them with us today, which is very unusual, especially as they've spread out from coast to coast. The residency can be an intense 2-year program that's quite different for each resident, as the paths to residency and research backgrounds can be quite varied. This is certainly true for this class, but in saying that, altogether, they also demonstrate the great value that medical physicists of varying backgrounds with different interests can bring to the clinical environment, and in the case of the residency program, to radiation oncology in particular. All 4 of these graduates demonstrated their ability to use and further develop and leverage their differing experience, expertise, and strengths to contribute to their own training site, both clinically and in research during their time in the program, and integrate very well into the physics departments in Oshawa, Newmarket, and Princess Margaret. The transition to staff for all of them in the past 6 to 10 months has likely offered some unique challenges, especially with uncertainty going on with certification exams, but I have no doubt that the following 4 graduates will successfully meet all of these challenges. I wish all of you the best of luck in your career moving forward, and welcome you to the U of T Medical Physics Residency Program alumni, which now, with the addition of you 4, officially stands at 55 graduates since the combined program was established in 2007. So a sincere congratulations to all of you on behalf of all the program faculty. So our first graduate is Mr. Joelle Beaudry from the Durham Regional Cancer Center in Oshawa, and now Joelle is a radiotherapy physicist at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York. So congratulations, Joelle.
Thank you. Hope everyone can hear me. Yeah, so I'm at MSK in Manhattan here. If anyone's planning to move to New York, I would try to recommend not to do it before it becomes the epicenter of a global pandemic. So that's kind of been an interesting change. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed my time at U of T DRO. I think one thing that I really liked was it struck, at least to me, the right balance between like a structured program and also it had independence as well. So 2 things that I think I really benefited from. Hopefully everything I learned sticks with me for the rest of my career. Hopefully it does. But thanks for that, and congratulations to all the other graduates as well.
Thanks, Joelle. Our next graduate is Dr. Leigh Conroy. So she was a physics resident at Princess Margaret and has stayed on and joined us as staff and faculty at Princess Margaret. So congratulations, Leigh.
Thanks, Andrea. Fifi's just told me I look like an airplane pilot at an airport right now. So hopefully you can hear me. So I just wanted to say thank you. And what really struck me when I first started residency here was the amount of care and effort and time that everyone involved in the program puts into it. And that really starts at the top with Andrea in particular, and then with Patricia. There's a huge emphasis on mentorship. So in my case, great big thank you to Tim and Tom. But it goes all the way to everyone who supervises us for our rotations and everyone who helps us along the way, and all of the ROs as well. So just want to say thank you, and I'm excited to pass it on.
Thanks, Leigh. Our third graduate is Dr. Edward Taylor, also a physics resident at Princess Margaret Cancer Center, and has also stayed on, as many of you are aware, with us as a faculty and physicist at Princess Margaret. So congratulations, Ed.
Thank you. I'd like to, Leigh said most of what I wanted to say, but thank you especially to Andrea and Patricia for shepherding a fantastic program. It really was a wonderful experience, and thanks to my fellow residents and everyone from Accelerator Services to associates who helped me greatly throughout my time. Thank you.
Thanks, Ed. And finally, to complete the coast to coast, Dr. Roja Zakaria, which I probably pronounced wrong again. Roja is joining us from LA. So she was a resident in the Stronach Regional Cancer Center at Southlake, and she's now a radiation oncology physicist at the Samuel Ocean Cancer Center at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in LA. So congrats, Roja.
Thanks, Andrea. Hi, everyone. I want to just take this opportunity to thank everyone in the program, just from Andrea to just all the physicists and physicians in Southlake and Princess Margaret, my fellow residents. Everyone was so great and supportive and level basically during this program. So just a little word of experience to the current residents. Experience before, there was tons of material to learn in a rather short amount of time, and a lot of exams and evaluations in a setting you've never experienced before. So it could be pretty stressful and overwhelming at times, but I want to guarantee if you keep working hard and focus on one thing at a time, you'll get through it like we all did, and you come out of the other end successfully. And remember, you have a strong and wonderful network of people available to you there that is always willing to make time to help you and to learn and thrive. So make sure to make best use of that. And thanks again.
Thank you, Roja. So that was our physics graduating class from last year. So glad everyone could join us. And I'm going to turn it over to the chief radiation oncology resident, Dr. Yanni Weiss.
Hi, everyone. And once again, thank you for all being here tonight for our UTDRO graduates. So I've been given the enormous task of speaking on behalf of the radiation oncology residents and then presenting awards to recognize excellence in fellow and staff clinical teaching. So first, I just want to acknowledge the sheer amount of privilege it is to be able to address you all today. I think that 2020 will certainly be a year to be remembered for many reasons, one of which is the ongoing efforts to advocate for anti-racism. So I want to challenge myself and challenge the rest of you to be cognizant of the need for diversity and representation in radiation oncology. Let us be better advocates and better mentors to recruit the brilliant young minds to the best field of medicine. So without further ado, I want to say a few words about our graduating year, esteemed co-residents, Rachel and Daruz. So to Dr. Rachel Glicksman, it's clear to us that you embody compassion. You are genuine and caring in all of your personal interactions. Is there really anybody as wholesome? In addition to clinical excellence, you've also juggled a master's degree, being chief resident, and completing award-winning and meaningful research projects. When the Princess Margaret Drugsees closed after its second listeria contamination, we comforted you, the only person who was sad about it, given your irrational love for their salads. We are all looking forward to seeing what you accomplish next year at Sunnybrook and beyond. To Dr. Mcphee, your resourcefulness, wit, and persevering spirit are one of a kind. We all know who to go to for advice on study materials and perhaps more importantly, the best food that Toronto has to offer, even if it's not truly and authentically Turkish. Your dedication to mastering radiation oncology, the insights from your strong research background, your ability to balance work and life, including fatherhood, make you an excellent role model. The world of academia is tough, and you've made it through a PhD, an MD, and a demanding residency program with only an exam and a lifetime of learning to go. So best wishes for it's sure to be a productive fellowship in Hamilton. You will be greatly missed. So to our excellent UT-DRO clinical fellows, thank you for teaching us and mentoring us. There were several fellows nominated for the Excellence in Clinical Teaching Award, and while there's only one winner, before I announce them, I'd like to give a shout out to all of the nominees. So thank you to Dr. Astrid Bilfat-Kelly, Dr. Hanbo Chen, Dr. Ahmed El Amir, and Dr. CJ Villafuerte. So the winner of this award did an excellent job involving residents during the rotations and challenging them during pediatrics and CNS, in addition to helping us prepare for our planning exams. C'est avec grand plaisir que je vous présente la gagnante, Dr. Samuel Bergeron-Gravel. Who I believe is here. Okay, so to the UT-DRO staff that make our education and well-being a priority, we are so very grateful. It seems that every year the bar is raised, and we are even more impressed by the high quality of didactics and drills delivered at half day and during personalized or small group tutorials. The winner of the award this year was noted consistently deliver high quality teaching, including a much needed focus on planning and plan evaluation, optimizing what is possible and making sacrifices where it's needed. So congratulations to Dr. Andrew Bailey. So now I'll turn the floor over to our esteemed residency program director, a distinguished professor of thoracic oncology whose dedication to her success is perhaps second only to her adoration of the mediastinal window. A warm welcome to Dr. Andrea Beziak.
Thank you very much, Yanni. I must say you're a hard act to follow. Look at you, chief resident with a lot of hidden talents. I fully endorse all your comments and agree about diversity, support of everything that's going on in the world, and celebration of all of us, of our department. This is a wonderful event. Like we said about the radiobiology course, maybe we'll do it virtual from now on because it was such a success. Thanks to Evan, Marianne, and everybody else who worked hard. I don't want to say we might have virtual graduations, but this in the future. But this is lovely. It's almost 100 of us, and it's really nice to see the smiling faces, to hear from our graduates, even if they're outside Toronto now, and to welcome the incoming PGY1s that have not yet arrived have joined us as well. So that's wonderful. So we are here to celebrate the graduates from the residency program. You might be surprised that there will be only 2 names. They started as a group of 4, and let me assure you that it was not because of the 2 individuals that were here to celebrate that the other 2 are not with them. On the contrary, they were a great group from the beginning, but one of them, Neil D'Souza, decided to leave for family medicine, and another, Jennifer Kwan, stepped out for a PhD, and we're delighted that she's already back in record time and will be celebrating her graduation when she finishes the rest of her clinical training. So that's how we ended up with a smaller cohort to celebrate as residents this year who are graduating. There's no question that both Rachel and Aruz have completed all of their program extremely successfully, but as you imagine with COVID, and you probably all know, it had really created a lot of havoc took with all sorts of things in our lives, including the specialty exams. So they were studying hard for their written and oral college exams that were going to happen to confirm their qualification and training so that they can practice as radiation oncologists. And as you know, it had to be postponed, and they are lucky, unlucky, I don't know. They will only have a written exam, which I'm sure they'll sail through when it comes in the fall. So we are fully able to celebrate, even though the big exam is still ahead of them. So if I take you in alphabetical order, I'll start with Rachel. Rachel Wixman started her training in Western and did medical undergraduate at Western Medical School at Queen's University, and joined our program in 2015. She was an assistant chief resident and then the chief resident. She concurrently with the program and without taking a day off, it seems, completed a master's in systems leadership and innovation at U of T under supervision of Dr. Porrick Ward with a project that was highly relevant to CCO and radiation therapy planning, resource planning. She got every single year, I think, more and more awards and grants to support the various types of research that she has done, not just her master's degree, 2 ACRA grants, Robert Brady Award in 2019, a Conquer Cancer Merit Award from ASCO Foundation this year, Holden for Life Oncology Fellowship under the supervision of Ali Berlin on a prostate project, Chair's Award of Academic Excellence last year, Bernard Cummings Award for Research Excellence, and the Jean Roy Memorial Award in 2018. So quite an impressive list. 10 first author papers and another 5 all through in her residency. So there's no question that she is doing wonderfully clinically, academically, and as a person. I fully agree with Yoni's comments about Rachel. So congratulations, Rachel, on completing your residency with us.
Thank you so much to everyone. Thanks to Dr. Bazak and thanks to Yoni. Yoni, that was probably the best chief president speech I've ever heard given at a graduation in my 5 years. Definitely beats what I said last year. I was asked to answer 2 questions. So one is what I'm doing next year. So I'm looking forward to doing a GU fellowship at Odette. And second is advice that I can give to our current and future radiation oncology residency trainees. And I think I have 3 points that I wanted to hopefully get across. One is that there are so many wonderful opportunities that this residency program affords, and I encourage everyone to take advantage of everything that there is. Second is to appreciate the role that we get to play in the lives of patients and their families. And third is just to have fun. It's been an amazing 5 years. Hard to believe that it's gone by this quickly. And I'm really grateful to everyone who's made it such a positive experience for me. So thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. And the second, her partner in the residency program for the last 5 years professionally, Dr. Aruz Meski, is graduating with us. Aruz started off and did most of his training at University of Toronto. He started with a Bachelor of Science and then a PhD in immunology, and then went to medical school at University of Toronto, and then joined our program. He has been very diligent, excellent, dedicated clinician, always on top of everything that is going on, while still able to pursue translational research in Stan Lu's lab in both breast and prostate cancer markers of invasiveness. He's had 8 publications, peer-reviewed publications since starting residency, ACRA Award in 2017, Postgraduate Research Award for his work as well. So very impressive while you know, pursuing both research and clinical excellence and managing family life and being a proud dad and a wonderful colleague. So Aruz, congratulations.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me properly. Sorry if you can't. So I'm going to be going to McMaster University for a fellowship in lung and prostate. This is after 18 years of post-secondary at University of Toronto. So that's not to offend any folks from U of T. It's just time for a little change. You know, I think everybody said a lot of great things about learning and opportunities and fun over the 5 years and over their tenure as trainees. The only one thing I would add, I think, is knowing that there are a lot of people that you get to meet over residency. I think it's important to really listen and hear their human stories, because I'd say some of the most profound moments have been from listening to people talk about their human stories, their personal things, and how they got there and what drives them, and also what frustrates them. And I think that makes us better human beings and better clinicians as well.
Thank you. I think you can see what I mean about our graduating residents when a future translational researcher speaks from the heart about the humane part of our specialty. That's exactly what embodies our department and what we try to instill in our trainees. With that, I thank you, and I'm turning the floor over to Dr. Avinash Pilar, who is the Chief Fellow, who is going to speak on behalf of the fellows. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Beaudry. Hope everyone can hear me. So COVID-19 has given us, I would say, a lot of negatives, but it also has given us positive in terms of virtual meetings. And I thought I could do something different out of it. Hope this works. Let me begin by saying what an extraordinary year this has been. It would be appropriate to say that it was full of surprises and adventures. We began this journey as a starry-eyed group looking for academic excellence and companionship. And now we are ending it in the most unexpected circumstances. Even so, I would say we did have our share of fun and achieved our goals both professionally and personally. UTDRO Fellowship Program has always lived up to its reputation of providing one of the best experiences to the international fellows. And our achievements this past year speak for themselves. From day-to-day learning to publications to conference presentation and prestigious awards, we got the best of all. However, that does not mean we did not have our share of fun. We came together to scare our peers during the Halloween contest and won the second prize. We ventured into the world of mystery together and emerged almost winners. Dinners, parties, hang out with the fellowship group, we did all and lived our best life. A special heartfelt thanks to Peter and Chen for their everlasting support and involvement in our academics, despite long, tiresome evening sessions. I'd also like to thank Cheryl, Marcia, Eileen, and Catherine for their tireless work to make our lives easier. And last but not the least, all our supervisors, our nurses, and support staff. All this would mean nothing without your continued guidance and support. Some of us are living and some not just yet. But we all carry great gratitude for this institute and a wealth of knowledge and wisdom to share with our people and the world. Thank you for giving us this opportunity and this amazing year. I would now like to turn the floor over to Dr. Peter Chung, Fellowship Director.
So thank you very much, Avinash, for that lovely speech. And I'd like to personally give thanks to the Chief Fellows over the last academic year, Samuel Bergeron and yourself, who have, and also Astrid Beaufort-Kelly, who have done a sterling job. I'd also like to thank Dr. Archie Dasgupta, Chief Fellow at Odette, and also to Dr. Hani Solomon, Director at Odette, together with my Associate Director, Jen Croak. I'd like to give my thanks to Cheryl and the Fellowship office at the UTDRO, and Catherine and Eileen, who've been sterling in maintaining the administrative side of the fellowship program. I'm very proud to be in the position to announce yet another full year of academic clinical education achievements for our fellows, who all came as fully formed and fully fledged radiation oncologists, and I hope that we have managed to literally brand you, maybe not necessarily literally, but at least metaphorically, into the UTDRO mold. And I hope that you take this forward for the rest of your careers and enjoy good memories of your time here. So without further ado, I'd like to go through our list of graduating fellows for this year. As with everything, COVID this year has been a big part of our program, and it has also caused some issues with regards to various people departing early from the program, as well as actually staying longer than we would initially have anticipated. Dr. Lulu Abdul-Jabbar came from Saudi Arabia to be a fellow with us, and initially she was going to stay, and then she was leaving, and then she's staying, but she's still here. So congratulations, Lulu, and she's going back to Saudi Arabia.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chung. So I was asked to answer 2 questions as well. So one, what will I do next? So hopefully if I can go home with this crazy situation, I'm going to start working in King Fahad Specialist Hospital, which is the main oncology center in the Eastern Province. And I hope that happens, because I don't know what's happening with the airports and everything with this COVID situation. And the other question is, what was the most thing that I valued in this program? And I had a really great experience in the last year and a half, where everyone was very supportive and helpful, and I learned what I wanted to learn. And I really would thank all of my supervisor and all of the fellows that I worked with. All of you have been great and really supportive, and were there when I needed them the most, especially during those last few weeks with everything going on with my me departing and going back home. So thank you, everyone, and I really appreciated your help and your time and everything that was basically your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Lulu. And next, I'd like to announce Dr. Saad Al-Rashidi, who came from Saudi Arabia and is also returning to Saudi Arabia, and he did his fellowship at Sunnybrook, Odette. And next, I'd like to announce Dr. Sohar Tala, who is leaving us to go to Thunder Bay. And I understand that Sohar has managed to injure herself, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's my special way in celebration. So I don't know if you hear me. Excellent. So yes, so actually, thank you so much. I'm endorsing everything Avi said and Lulu said. I'm proud to be part of the UTDRO fellow and Princess Margaret fellows. I spent 2 years of fellowship. I learned a lot, and I'm so proud of all the experiences I got. And also, I would like to thank all my supervisors and the staff I worked with for their mentorship and guidance and valuable advices. Thank you so much. Also, I was so lucky to meet up with all my fellow colleagues, very good friends, and like a loyal group of people. Actually, I'm proud to know every one of them, and they wouldn't forget our physics planning team, nursing, and everyone I worked with. I learned something from everyone, so I will keep that with me. It's it's a precious thing to keep. And thank you so much, everyone.
And next, I'd like to announce Dr. Samuel Bergeron, who has already returned to a staff position in Quebec City. Samuel?
Thanks. So I'm very grateful that I had the chance in the past year to learn from great mentors and to make new friends from all around the world. As you said, I'm already back in Quebec City, where I started working as a staff radiation oncologist, specializing in PEDS, CNS, and lymphoma, and I just completed my first month on my own.
Thank you. So next, I'd like to announce Dr. Astrid Bill-Falk-Kelly, who was left to join the staff at St. John's, Newfoundland. And unfortunately, Astrid was not able to attend. Next, I'd like to announce Dr. Matthew Chan, who came to us from BC and is returning to BC. Matthew?
Thanks, Peter. Yeah, so starting in September, I'll be starting a job back where I finished my residency training, treating breast, head and neck, and oligomets. People here work really hard, are often very busy, and yet have an incredible capacity for kindness. They literally opened their homes to me when I first got here and didn't have anywhere to stay due to poor planning, supported me when I had my second son, and helped me get a job back home. And I really look forward to maintaining these relationships in the future. Thanks.
And next, I'd like to announce Dr. Chin-Heng Fong, who is returning to a staff position in Penang, Malaysia. Heng? Are you with us, Heng?
Can you hear me? Great. So first of all, thank you, Peter. I'm thankful for the opportunity to be here. It's been an eye-opening experience where I've managed to learn new skills and knowledge, which I'll be perpetually grateful for. I'm also thankful for the friendship that was made in the past 2 years that I hope will last for a lifetime. After this, I'll be returning to Penang, which is where I'm from. It is a small island on the west coast of Malaysia. So when the pandemic is over and if you are keen to escape from the bitter cold in Canada and you want to enjoy the warm tropical weathers, sunshine, sandy beaches, and warm sea, do come and visit me on the other side of the world. It will take 28 hours to fly there, but it's not too long. Thank you, Peter.
And next, I'd like to announce Dr. Hamza Agatashe, who is not able to join us as he had already returned to a staff position in King Hussein Cancer Center in Jordan. Thereafter, I'd like to announce Dr. Shiv Kumar Goody, who is unfortunately affected by COVID, but not in a bad way, but only extending his fellowship for a short period of time. Shiv?
Hi, you're able to hear me? Am I audible? Okay, yeah, thank you, Peter. So, it was a wonderful opportunity to work here. Obviously, working in an institute like Princess Margaret Hospital has been always great. And I've heard this from so many colleagues. And I was, I think, lucky to join this institute as a fellow and getting an opportunity to work here. And, one thing I have to tell that the way the work goes on here, the way they do teamwork, they take care of each patient in a special way. all this has been great. This has all been learning for me, and attention to detail that they give here for each the way they treat patients. Everything has been a great learning experience for me. I'll be going back and joining Tata Memorial Hospital in Mumbai as a staff. So I've extended temporarily for here because of the COVID reason, but I think I'll be joining late in December or so. Thank you.
Thank you, Shiv. And next, I'd like to announce Dr. Ezra Han. Now, Ezra should have really did actually graduate last year, but because of a logistic and minor issue, didn't actually get into the ceremony for last year. So we brought him in for this year. Ezra? Perhaps no Ezra for this year. Next, I'd like to announce Dr. Revathi Krishnamurthi, who is another COVID-affected individual. Revathi?
Hi, can you hear me? Hi all, this is my 6th year in radiation oncology, inclusive of my residency. And like for everyone else, it has been bizarre, surreal, and extremely challenging. Probably not the best year to be away from home, but I'm glad I was in a country which is popular as the nicest country. And all of you here have been anything but considerate. I plan to extend for 6 more months as a lung fellow while continuing to work with Dr. Lu. And after that, I hope to go back as staff with Tata Memorial Hospital in my hometown of Mumbai, practicing mainly women's cancers, patient-reported outcomes, and global health. What I liked best here and what I would take back are the high standards of professionalism and the openness to communicate. Thank you so much.
And next, I'd like to announce Dr. Lana Lukovitch, who's been with us for a few years, but is graduating from the program. Yelena?
Thank you. Yes. So in terms of where I'm going, I'm actually excited to be staying. I'm joining the GI, Gynae, and endocrine site groups in July, so in a couple of weeks. And in terms of what I valued most, it was really the diverse group of both fellows and staff with whom I had the opportunity to interact and who I learned from over the past couple of years, the mentorship I've received, and really the lifelong friendships that I've made during my time as a fellow. So thank you for that.
And next on the list, Dr. Avinash Pilar.
I'd like to once again thank all my mentors and supervisors for this wonderful 2 years. I had the best of the learning experience that I could hope for. I'd also like to thank my co-fellows during the last 2 years. If not for you guys, I guess things would not have been easy. You were always supportive and could be approached for anything. Had a really fun time with all of you. And also being a co-chief fellow this year was challenging, if not for help from my co-chief fellow Samuel, and also from all other fellows who are always willing to pick up any additional duties that were asked of them. And in terms of what I would be doing next year is I'm continuing because of COVID at least for next 3 months, and then I'm planning to do a proton therapy fellowship at Manchester, Christie Hospital, Manchester.
Thank you, Avinash. And next up is Dr. Jeevan Shahi, who is at Odette, Sunnybrook, and will be heading south of the border in a short while, hopefully.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Chung. So
after fellowship, I'll be starting as staff at my old medical school in St. Louis, Missouri at SLU. And that's also my wife's hometown. So it'd be nice to be closer to family. And what I valued most at UTDRO was just all the great people that I met, especially my supervisors, Patrick and Hans, all the physicists and therapists, co-fellows, residents, everybody. I know we didn't spend a lot of time downtown, but it's great seeing you guys right now, and wish you all the best.
Thank you. And last but not least, Dr. Andre Voss, who's Canadian by way of South Africa and then back to Canada again. Andre, you with us? Don't know. So, so that concludes the graduating class for 2020. And again, I'm very, very proud to have you all graduate. I'm very proud that you'll be moving forth to your respective careers, and wish for all the best in the future. I'd like to hand over now to Dr. Fifi Liu for some final remarks.
Great, thank you so much, Peter, and everyone for our 2020 graduating class at the University of Toronto Department of Radiation Oncology. I do have to say, Avinash, I loved your slides. It looked like as a fellow here, it's so much fun that I think that in my next life, I'd like to go back and be a fellow in our own program and participate in all those mystery dinners and all those fun stuff. But nonetheless, good evening, everybody, and welcome everyone to this very special occasion where we're celebrating our graduating class of 2020. As we conclude this evening's virtual celebration, which I should mention is one of the least expensive ones in the history of our university department, but nonetheless, obviously very fantastic with a record number of turnouts. I really want to first thank our amazing faculty members. Your immense contributions to educating, mentoring, and training our graduates to help them prepare for their future professional career. And this evening, we had just recognized the hard work, the perseverance, the resilience, and the long days and evenings which are spent by our 16 radiation oncology fellows, our 2 radiation oncology residents, and our 4 medical physics residents. UTDRO, as you all know, is recognized as one of the largest training programs nationally and internationally, and we are also amongst one of the top 3 such academic programs in the world. And so it is not easy, and it's very competitive, get into our doors, but once you are here, we support you tremendously. The CARMS matching process identifies the most suitable candidates for our radiation oncology residency program, and we only choose 4 such individuals every single year. Our fellowship program is also very competitive, whereby we only accept about half of the applicants, and the medical physics residency program is even more competitive, where we only accept about 4 trainees every year, but we have about 40 to 50 applications that arrive on our doorsteps. So I want you to know that you're all joining a very elite group of radiation medicine professionals as you have graduated from our training program. And we also want you to know that UTDRO graduation and graduates, you have your doors that are wide open for you around the world. Every year, I receive emails from American heads of the Department of Radiation Oncology, for example, who want to ask who they might be able to recruit to their centers. So you should be very proud of what you have been able to accomplish as a result of having graduated from our training program, and know that you have amazing opportunities are going to be available to you. Now, COVID has forced us all to adapt to this new environment, just as with this virtual celebration. And so as Mike Milosevic has already mentioned, the format for our Research Day Award is a little bit different, but I also want to extend a hearty congratulations to all of the winners of this year's Research Award. Now, as new graduates, you will all be joining the ranks of a very esteemed group of alumni, many of whom have, okay, am I still on record? Yes, okay. So I have to Yes, remain polite. Okay. And so I want you to know that you are joining a very esteemed group of alumni, many of whom have made tremendous contributions to the field of radiation medicine. Many of our graduates have gone on to highly distinguished careers, creating change, innovating, and impacting our field and our society locally, regionally, and also internationally. Alumni engagement, of course, is a critical part of the UTGRO vision of being global leaders in radiation oncology through education and research and, of course, clinical practice. And as such, every year, UTGRO hosts an annual Astro Alumni event, which I hope to see many of you there in the years to come. We have not yet finalized the plan for the 2020 Astro Alumni event, but it may well be another virtual event, which our business manager, Evan Donahue, would be very happy with from a budgetary perspective. But to highlight the achievements that you and your peers will be able to achieve after you start your professional career, Dr. Rebecca Wong last year had launched a UTGRO Alumni Award to recognize your impact annually. And our inaugural recipient in 2019 was Dr. Matthew Foote, who is a very successful radiation oncologist in practicing now in Brisbane, Australia, and who had spent a year as a fellow with us here at UTGRO. So we want you to visit the alumni section of our UTGRO website so you can learn about the Alumni Award, and then please nominate individuals so that we could also identify a new Alumni Award recipient for 2020. And please also remember to share your contact information with us so that we could keep in touch with you and showcase your careers in terms of the achievements and the successes that you will be making to our discipline. And to finally underscore the leadership group that you will now be joining, just here in Ontario, 8 of the 14 department heads of radiation oncology are actually graduates of our UTGRO training program. So congratulations once again to each and every one of you for your exceptional achievements. We're truly excited to see your careers unfold over the years to come. And again, thank you all for attending our virtual UTGRO graduation of 2020. Now, we normally, as Evan said, we would be exiting now, we're finishing with the official parts of this event, and everybody would be going out to a feast out in the lawns of the Hart House. So unfortunately, we will all have to enjoy this feast virtually, but we want you again to have a great celebration. Thank you all for attending this year's event, and have a wonderful evening, and stay safe, everyone. So have a lovely evening. And of course, you can all just continue to stay and chat. And of course, I also want to give a great thanks to our UTGRO staff, Evan Donahue, Catherine Wong, and Tanya Webb, and of course, Roxanne, who had developed the entire evening. And so thank you all so much again, and good night, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.